Welcome to What's Upper Pinellas. Here I am with my co-host Marianne Davis is back
Good
from
morning.
Central America.
Mexico. Ole. It was awesome. Awesome time. And yeah, this is fun. We're here a little early this time. We have a
different day, a little early.
a different day.
And we're going to try and see if we can hear Marianne.
A little early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hear Marianne.
Which is, yeah. And we're kind of twisting the truth a little because I don't think we're early. We're actually a little late.
We're early for the next show.
It's right.
We're 6 days early for the next show.
That's right. But hey, we're here, which
Yep.
is, and I have two shoes on that match.
I was going to say, but are they the same color?
They match. And that's about as much as I can manage these days. So,
That's so
yes,
funny.
thank you.
So fun. So tell us, you were not here last week, and what were you doing?
I was attending the wedding of my daughter Brittany and her now husband Babak, Mr. and Mrs. Bafende. It was in Mexico, a little place called Todos Santos, which is just north of Cabo. And you know what? You know the Hotel California, the Eagles Hotel California? Yeah. That original Hotel California is in this little town.
Really?
So yeah, it was a little seaside place that we were at. Very, very beautiful, very rustic.
But you were able to leave.
And I was I was able to leave, but it wasn't so easy. I got a lot of stories, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And there's nothing better as a parent than to see your children doing well and happy. And I'm just blessed. I'm blessed.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
the addition to your family and to the young married couple.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
That was my last one. Now I'm ready for the grandbabies. Bring them on.
Was that your toast?
Yeah.
We're the babies.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one, so that was good. We're
No
good.
shotgun was necessary, so it's all good.
Yeah. So how are you doing? What's going on in your world?
Good, just super busy. Awesome. Just very grateful. Everything's going well. And we got out to get dinner with the grandkids on Tuesday night.
I saw those pictures. They are so adorable. I'm very jelly. Yeah.
They're so funny.
Yeah, they're cute.
So the 4-year-old was sitting between myself and the 8-year-old, and I was asking them jokes, and the 4-year-old would just like parrot whatever I said. That was her answer. And then she saw her older sister was actually like taking a second to think and come up with answers. And by the end of it, I read the 8-year-old was getting about half of them right, and the 4-year-old was getting close to at least giving answers that were appropriate.
Oh, that's so good. I love it. Funny. I love it.
Yeah, blast.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And we've been busy lately, huh?
Yeah.
I came back and well, we've had a month. We've had some hurricanes, an election.
Yeah.
And I think for the market that people have been kind of hanging on, waiting for those things to pass. And now they're all kind of coming back. The snowbirds are back. People are out shopping. It's a great thing. Yeah.
And you have people, from the storm that need to move now, they're in between houses or displaced and, not liking paying Airbnb rates and that kind of stuff. And don't want to sign a year contract. So some people are doing that. You have, people talking to people just relocated from Texas and trying to set up his business and trying to pick up a first rental property here. So, some interesting stories and interesting stuff going on for sure.
Well, we both, we're in total agreement. I've had someone ask me, they were thinking of selling the home that they have because she's a older woman and she's looking to downsize, and she was like, well, should I rent or should I buy? Always buy. I mean, if you're going to be spending any time there, then definitely buy. It's better than renting. So
right. And if you're going to be paying rent or mortgage, pay your own.
Because even we've seen even in the rough times, we still have appreciation. So keep that in mind for sure. So
Yep. So what do you got for us today?
Well, one of the things, speaking of how's the market doing, I just have some a little bit of information on this past month. The stats came out for October, and even though people were hanging on, not wanting to wait to see what happened with the storms and with the election, I think it's really pretty good news. The active listings have stayed the same. No change in the number of active listings. New listings are down just slightly, and that makes sense because of all that we were going through in October. Pending sales were down just a little bit, 11%. The days on market is up a little bit, 62 days on market is the average days on market. So, and that is not a bad number.
And that number is list to contract or list to close?
List to contract.
Okay.
List to contract. So that's really not so bad. So I just I think that one of the things is that the new listings not being as high was pretty good, because we do have it is about 5.6 months of inventory, which has gone up. So we are definitely moving into the equilibrium, more towards a seller's market. But the fact that there's no new listings on the market, then we're kind of staying there. So I think that that's
moving
a good,
more towards the seller's market or more towards the buyer's market?
I'm sorry, buyer's market.
I just wanted to
Yes, I need that. Thank you.
Yep,
we need a brain between the two of us. Glad it's yours, not mine.
Just making sure we're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's true. So we are moving towards a buyer's market. I think after 6 months, they consider that 6 months of inventory, they consider that a buyer's market. And we are, we're almost there. But I do think that may be changing, because I'm seeing a lot of, we're getting a lot more buyers coming out now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have, with the election being over, whether it went your way or didn't go your way, there's some type of movement in the stock market, and how people think of what they think is going to happen over the next 6 months, year, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the case is. And I think it's people are coming off the fence. It's getting towards the end of the year, so people are trying to lock in their homestead for next year. And so if you close before December 31st, you get the homestead next year, instead of going a whole year, January, February, close there. You got to go a whole year before you can, hold a homestead. So there's a combination, of factors that are coming together that have people, moving for sure. I had 4 contracts show up Monday. Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I think I'm sending maybe 2 more your way.
Awesome.
Today, awesome. Hopefully. Awesome. So I think that's these are all very positive signs, but we were waiting for that. It didn't matter who in the election. It wasn't about who. It was just about the uncertainty.
Yeah. And once you know, you've planned how you're going to plan. I mean, it is what it is. So,
boy, glad that we're moving into the holidays, though, huh? Well, I love Christmas.
Well, we got a little bit of a cool weather this morning. I was asking Laurie. I said, it's supposed to be nice Friday and Saturday. I said, we getting rain? She's like, no. Like, how do we get cold weather without rain? Said, well, it's not supposed to rain. I woke up this morning. It was to walk the dog. 5 o'clock this morning. It was soaking wet, and then we ran into a possum and a turtle out of the lake. Great big one.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
So we got a little bit of cool weather. So should be a nice weekend.
That's good. That's very good.
So I was at a investor meeting I go to every week, and I looked down and I said to myself, like, why am I carrying all this stuff? And basically each one of these loans is each one of these folders is a loan or scenario that I put together for a member of that group. And that's not even all of them. I just started doing that.
Let me interrupt here.
Yep.
It is a loan or scenario that you put together, but they're not all the same type of loan or scenario.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. So each folder is a different type of loan.
Right.
So that when people say, can you do this? What do the numbers look like? And how does that work? And, fees and that kind of stuff. So I kind of have, instead of trying to remember all this stuff while I'm, an hour and a half from my desk, I can at least refer back to something that I completed and say, in this scenario, this. And so I was able to do that. I did a fix and flip, buy the house in disrepair, fix it, and flip it to yourself into a cash flow or debt service ratio loan for a client. And they were buying it at like 225. It would be worth 335 when they are done. And through the process, they, on the first purchase, they put in $50,000. It's 20% down and their rehab money and closing costs. And coming out, they would get somewhere between $17,000 and $27,000 back when they refinanced out into the long-term loan. So
wow,
basically, you end up, $30,000 out of your pocket to fix it into, whether you're doing long-term rental or Airbnb rental, but you get it ready for rental, and then you come back out and have money, to go into the next one. So I was able to quickly turn around. One of the contracts came in, I would quickly turn around and say, hey, here's what this scenario is, because the numbers came in very similar. So it's helpful in that way to both stuff together. And then I have a guy that's been asking me for 6 months for a HELOC or HELoan on an investment property. And so I finally came across a company that does that. And the specificity, can't say that word. The specifics of it are that he did not want to pull together all this paperwork for all his other rentals and all his self-employed and all that stuff. And so we're able to do it on the cash flow of the property. So it's a cash flow second position loan for 700 better credit score. And so he's elated because he can go through and pull equity out of properties that he's got on permanent financing.
Nice.
And put in second position without having to refinance the whole thing.
And so how much equity do you have to have for something like that?
They will lend up to 70%. So they're going to leave 30% in the house, and you pull up to that amount. But if you're buying a property and you've had it for years, so you bought it low, you fixed it up, and it's renting, and then it's gone up in value, you might have a decent amount of equity you can pull from there.
Yeah. Well, I ask these questions always for myself.
I know.
You know exactly what I'm doing, what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yep. So it's just a 1% debt ratio, meaning that your expenses and your income are at least the same.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, positive income is what we're looking for, along with appreciation. But it doesn't have to be 1.35, 1.5, 25, 35% positive cash flow before you can do it. It's 1.0 even.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So got any open houses, any listings?
I actually do have, I have a couple of open houses this weekend, but the one I want to share with everybody is a really beautiful property in Ridgemore. It is at 4829?
Yes.
Yeah. You're the brain.
4829 Ridgemore Circle.
Ridgemore Circle. And it is one, there it is. It's a gorgeous 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, pool home on conservation.
Oops.
Yeah, we lost the picture.
I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. It's I can talk a little bit here. I could stall. No, so it's a beautiful house. It's on conservation. It's an extra large lot that has it's got a side yard with a fence that you can pull your toys in there if you want, or if you have animals, your pets. It's up against the Brooker Creek Preserve, so it's a really beautiful location, really serene. And here we go. We got the pictures coming up again. So I want you to see the inside, because it's really it's got this beautiful luxury vinyl wood-like floors. There we go. It's really spacious. It's got you walk into the living dining combination, and then we have also informal living room right off the kitchen and the pool. The pool deck has just been refinished. They've just installed all kinds of irrigation and new sod, taken all the popcorn off the ceilings and updated throughout the house, all the fixtures and lights and fans. This is just under 2,000. It's like 1990 something square feet, 2-car garage, and it is listed at $635. Got the washer and dryers included, a big garage, and look at that side yard. It's gorgeous. And the pool area, it's all new pool decking, and just It's just an immaculate property. I will be there on Saturday from 12 to 2. So stop by and see me there. And yeah, bring your checkbook because it's not going to last long.
Yeah. Great house, great. And then the preserve right in your
They're
backyard.
right behind it. Yeah.
Do they have a fence ring along the back, or do
They
they
do
get to see
not.
critters?
They do not.
So they can see critters.
You can see critters.
Deer and
Yep, the deer come right up. I think
turkey.
the owners had a little deer feeder back there because they did. They love to see that. He's also a hunter.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
He might have had a bow and arrow too.
Yeah, no, he didn't. I think Brian knows who they are. So yeah, no, he didn't in this house.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful house. So please come by and see me and let anybody that is looking. The other thing with this property, this is something we're finding that the tax records are showing different information for flood zones than the insurance companies. It's kind of all over the board. And the tax records say this is in an A flood zone. However, insurance companies are saying it's an X zone. We have a flood policy on this property that's only 525. Whether you are in a hazard zone or not, you should get your flood insurance, especially since things are going to be changing. And probably there's going to be more requirements for flood. Flood is not required in this particular property at this time. But if you did get it, it's only $525 a year. So
is that policy assumable?
It's not. This is a fresh quote.
Okay.
This is a fresh quote. So they didn't have flood on it, but I like to encourage everybody to have flood on all their properties. And so this is especially because it's so low. It's so low, and come, if things start going up, you'll have a lower policy base. So
very nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Very nice. And you're there when?
I'm there Saturday from 12 to 2. 12 to 2 Saturday.
That's awesome. So what else we got going on?
That's it for the real estate world for right now. I know that we've got we both have a lot of things in the hopper that we want to take care of. Anything else you want to chat about today?
I had a loan that I was going to talk. Oh, I know what it was. I didn't know what it was. Pre-approving a borrower, and his credit scores are about 20 points lower than what they needed to be to qualify. And so when we pulled the credit that I pull has the potential for score improvement. And that potential is what's called rapid balance update and rescoring. So if you're using too much of your credit, above 30, above 50% of the credit line, sometimes your scores will suffer for that. And so we looked through it, and we found that the open lines of credit he has were all zero balance. And and so we messed with a couple of different things and couldn't get the scores to change at all. And then I put $1 on one of the credit lines that he had open, one of the revolving credit lines, and it shot up 24 points. And I, did multiple, how much does he have to have between $1, and I went all the way to $1,000. And I did it to all three lines of credit and did the same thing. Well, he had $1, $1,000 on those credit lines, it would take his credit scores up 24 points. So for the first time in 24 years, I literally had to tell somebody to go out and use their credit in order to get their credit scores to go up. And so what that is, for those that don't know or don't understand it, is credit scores are based on utilization of credit and management of credit. And if every time they look at them, it's zero, you go out and put cheeseburger on it, you pay it to zero, and you go out and put gas on it, you pay it to zero. They're only reported one time per month, because the creditors have to pay the credit bureaus to monitor that and adjust that and keep on top of it. So if every time you pull it at zero, you're not using your credit, there's nothing to manage, and there's nothing to do your scores on. Mm-hmm. And so you do have to leave small balances. People, I don't want to pay interest on that. Well, if you leave $5 to $25, how much interest are you paying to get your scores to grow? And so that's the lesson of the day is first time ever I had to tell somebody to go out, put something on their credit cards, get a new statement, and then we can send it back for rapid balance update and rescoring, and he qualify for the loan.
Very good. Very good information. You know what I do? I will pay the previous month's, that month's balance was due, and leave the new charges on. So
Mhm.
there's always something on there, but I'm not accruing interest.
Yeah.
Because you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's a good tip. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Right there.
But it is, you would think, and I know that we had this discussion about the whole Dave Ramsey thing. Dave Ramsey thinks you shouldn't have any credit cards and you shouldn't use credit cards. But then when I first came into the home buying game,
Mhm.
I didn't have credit cards. I'd never had credit cards. I didn't have credit, and I had a bad credit score because I didn't have credit.
Right. And that's one of the things is you may not have derogatory credit. Some people they just have low credit scores, and you have to have positive stuff going on to pull your scores up.
Correct. Yeah.
And so it's not just this guy that has zero, but even if you don't have credit, you go, oh, I've never had credit, but your score's got to start somewhere. So
Right.
if someone pulls your scores and if they show up, they go, oh, these are bad credit. It's not necessarily bad credit, just you don't use your credit.
Yeah, that's it.
You
No
have
credit
stuff going on. Right.
with the credit bureaus. No credit is bad credit.
Right. So. And so it's not a system of asset management and wealth. It's a system of debt management. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what it's set up as. Mm-hmm. And so I go to this investor group on Thursday, and there are people in there that refuse to use credit. Okay. And there are people in there that have 15, 20, 30 houses. Well, one guy in there had 12 houses get basically, I won't say blown up. That's not the right word, but water damage, totally, had to move the renters out, have to do all this work. And now he has no credit to put them together. So he had to sell 3 of them to get money to fix the other, 8, 9 of them. I guess that's the right math. 12
unfortunately,
what's that?
I unfortunately have I've been using my credit to pay the vendors and things like that. And unfortunately, I just got a notice today, this morning, as a matter of fact, that they increased my credit line. And so I'm like, no, stop.
Right. But what that does for you, let's just say, and I'm just pulling numbers out of the air because we haven't talked about this, right. But let's just say it was a $2,000 repair that you had, but you only had a $3,000 amount. Now you're over the 30 and the 50% level. But if they moved it to 4,000, now you're at least 50%. So you're not hurting your numbers,
right?
Financially,
right?
And credit score wise, that keeps other credit available to you,
right? Because
if it starts, goes down, so there's good and bad in it, and try to find good. Right.
So there's like so many different things that we could talk about in terms of managing your finances and things like that. And I think that you may be sharing with us on one of our next broadcasts. What is it? 50 ways?
50 ways to fund your future deals. However you want to end that, your future or your deals. And so I'll start kind of going in depth, pick one and go in depth through and kind of walk through a scenario, moving forward until we kind of cover all 50 of them. But the reality of it is when someone tells you no, you may not qualify for what they offer, but you may qualify for something else.
Right.
And so there are at least 50 different ways to get the funds to complete your first purchase, your next purchase, your next investment, whatever the case is. And you just may not be talking to the right person. So, yeah, appreciate you bringing that up.
Or that guy. I don't know which way you're at, but yeah, definitely. And that's what I always say to my clients, that, if there's a way to get it done, Brian will find that way and he'll get it done. So,
yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well, anything else before we say goodbye? Got anything going on this weekend?
No, but you know what? I'm gearing up, and I'm warning everybody. I am going to participate this year in the Tarpon Springs Golf Cart Parade.
Are you?
So let me know if you are too, because I'd like to get a group of us together.
You have a golf cart?
No. I'll be on my bicycle. No, I'm going to rent one. I'm going to rent a golf cart.
Put your cooler out on the corner as they go by. Just put your thumb out.
Yes, I know.
So you have a rental? You have a rental that
I hope to get one. I hope to get one. If not, then I'm going to be calling around borrowing. But yes, I hope to do that. And I know last year was last Christmas, I guess, I closed on my house. and I came out in my new house on the trail.
Yep.
And there was the golf cart parade. I was like, this is the best ever.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm gonna be there this year. So
That's
that's
awesome.
it. How about you? Any plans this weekend? Crab trap set?
They're not set,
Oh,
but
okay.
I do.
We hold out hope.
No, I told Chris that I would be ready for Monday, so I'll be ready for Monday. So yeah, if you got to attach the escape hatch for the little ones and change the line and put and everyone goes, why haven't you done that yet? Because it's not fun. The fun part is putting them in and taking them out, not customizing them.
I know you're busy.
Doing crab trap reno, crab trap renovation. But yeah, and Florida obviously plays this weekend, and then I've got some cool stuff that I'm trying to do. I have done all my CEs for all my existing licenses, and I'm trying to add 3 more states. So I'm going to try and get through the CEs for those this weekend. So that
Wow, that sounds
apply.
like the best weekend ever.
Yeah. That's sarcasm.
That is.
That's Mary Ann Davis sarcasm. Yeah, no, it's but it's to open up 3 states that I can help people. Trying to get North Carolina, Tennessee, and then also I have Georgia. So basically, where the hurricanes went up, I can pretty much help everybody in those states. And then I'm also trying to get Texas, where my son lives, and where I was born. So
Yay.
Yeah. But, yeah, working on that. That's
Sounds
it.
good. All right. With that,
We will bid you adieu.
and we'll see you next week sometime.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.